Earlier I spoke with the Conservative MP and ERG member Andrew Bridgen and the Labour MP Rushanara Ali. I began by asking Andrew Bridgen if he would vote for the withdrawal agreement tomorrow.
I won't, and separating it from the political declaration actually makes it more unlikely that I think thinking Conservatives would support the government tomorrow. It actually makes it harder to vote for because the withdrawal agreement refers to the political declaration. The withdrawal agreement will be very hard to get out the backstop. Without the political declaration, it's almost impossible.
We rarely agree with each other, but on this one, many MPs from different ends of the political spectrum will be voting against the withdrawal agreement. And actually, what the government's doing is being incredibly sly, as usual, trying to find yet another route to reintroduce the opportunity for Theresa May to get the withdrawal agreement through and get her deal through that way, and that is not in the spirit of what was promised. I mean, the future relationship is not entirely clear anyway, but now she's taking away the document that sets out provides some sense of what that future relationship might be.
Well, let's just start doing the maths. I mean, how many other people think like you on your end of the spectrum?
I suspect there's probably 15 or 20 Conservatives, and we're hearing the DUP aren't going to support it.
But, Rushanara Ali, how did you vote last time on the combined deal that Mrs May put forward?
I voted against it because this transition deal is going to make the UK economy smaller. People will still lose their jobs under that deal. We're not going to be any better off.
This has done nothing
and
to
this
change
is doing
your mind.
nothing. It's actually doing nothing to improve the situation. It's just a manifestation of Theresa May and her government driving the country insane, frankly, by not listening to what we need. We need a compromise. Yesterday we had the opportunity to have the indicative votes. Only one day. The next stage is to look at the most popular options, and they were a confirmatory vote, which would allow the option of her deal and other options that have been voted for, including the option to remain in.
Right.
That's the next stage that we need to focus on.
Well, presumably, if she loses tomorrow, that is it. She really has to go.
I'm hearing that there might be a thought they might bring it back again next week.
What, as a combined thing?
I've no idea. It sounds like a withdrawal agreement for just when you thought it was safe to go back into the chamber.
Do you see the Speaker's hand in all this?
The Speaker is the chair, and he is responsible for making sure that the government doesn't abuse its powers, and it has been so far.
There is a power vacuum. The Speaker's trying to fill it, but what he's actually doing is driving a coach and horses straight through our Constitution. The Speaker is making the rules up as he goes along. We've got a Parliament that will not let us leave the European Union. My preferred option is that we leave on no deal, end the uncertainty for business and everyone else on the 12th of April. I don't think this Parliament will...
That would cause absolute chaos.
So what the Speaker has done is to trigger an election, effectively, in your mind?
No, the Speaker is grandstanding. He's going to finish very shortly, and he's enhancing his earning capacity on the speaking circuit.
Nevertheless, what he's done...
And he's putting our whole Constitution at risk. That's what he's doing. He's a grandstander.
They've just had it in for the Speaker for many years, and this is another sign of it. What's problematic is this government and this Prime Minister, who doesn't give a monkeys about people's lives and livelihoods. She doesn't respect Parliament. She doesn't respect the will of Parliament.
The economy's doing really well.
And by the way, the ERG, the European Research Group, and Andrew's lot, they promise frictionless trade. They promise that you can have your cake and eat it. The country will be better off, but instead people are losing jobs.
Well, I think we could end on the observation that we have moved from a shambles to a shambles.
And well, out of chaos, hopefully will come order. But what we've got is a Speaker who is supposed to be the umpire, but wants to be the opening batsman and the opening bowler as well. And
you believe order can only come from an election?
Well, no, I think order can come from what parliamentarians decide next week, whether they're prepared to compromise, whether members of parliament can come up with a deal, come up with an approach that protects our economic interests, and I believe that we can do that with supporting the motions, the two most popular motions, customs union as well as the confirmatory vote. There is an opportunity to look at those motions and look at building something around that and a compromise around that, and I think there is an opportunity to do that.
A parliament that does not represent the will of the British people with regard to Brexit. And we've got Labour MPs who are betraying their trust that they've placed in them by a lot of Labour Leave voters.
Members of Parliament's mandate. That is unhelpful.
We gave the people the right to decide on the referendum.
On that note, alas, I'm sorry.
Against us.
Rushanara Ali and Andrew Bridgen, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.